Emotion in Animation by John Thompson
and James Reynolds.
A G-Bread production. Animation has come a long way in the last 20 years or so.
Pixar's Toy Story was the first fully computer-generated, full-length feature film and the beginning of a CGI revolution.
So how has this affected the use of emotion within animation?
Well, let's take a look at how emotion is defined to start with.
What is emotion?
Darwin believed it was how our nervous system was wired and the remnants of our old habits. He suggested the emotional expressions have not evolved, putting humans on a continuum with other animals.
In 1992, doubt was cast over his theories by Friedland, who pointed out Darwin's theory of natural selection contradicting this. Watson put forward the first clearly behaviorist theory. He suggested there are three types of fundamental emotional reaction: fear, love, and rage. But it would be better to label them X, Y, and Z. Any other emotion is a compound of these primary emotions.
Binder's approach is neurophysiological, suggesting that both emotion and motivation can be accounted for with one construct, the central motive state, or CMS. CMS being driven by motivation without external influences.
Plutchik discredited some of the previous theories, as he defines emotion as an inferred complex sequence of reactions, including cognitive evaluation, subjective change, and autonomic and neural arousal impulses to action. His was biological in nature, supposedly making it superior.
Plutchik regards emotion as multidimensional, the dimensions being those of intensity, similarity, and polarity.
What do we get from all this?
Well, a headache. None of these theories are proven or disproven, but they do give us something to work with.
So how do we throw these theories at animation?
Disney have an interesting approach to emotion. In particular, they aim to engage the audience's imagination using the 9 economical ways that animation can build emotions in the imaginations of the audience.
These consist of rear view, shadows, shadows over characters, overlay, dramatic layout, pictorial shot, effect animation, held drawing with camera moves, and offstage sound.
Other forms of animation incorporate these techniques or similar, though often for a different effect. Take American Dad, for example.
Crap out of you when you deserve it.
Ah! Damn it, why is this door locked? Francine! Is this for the taco on the dress? Francine, open the door, you bitch! Oh, hi, Stan. Oh, thank goodness you're here. This door is stuck. Can you get it for me? Okay, it's almost open. Now I'll throw you. Oh, me again? Okay.
Clearly not the same effect Disney were going for.
But then we have the Facial Action Coding System, or FACS for short. FACS focuses on the main muscles in the face, labeling each with a number. These are action units. These relate to a scoring system from A to E, A being the least intense contraction of a muscle, E being the most intense.
Ultimately, the scoring system doesn't tell us much on its own. It's a methodical approach to interpreting facial expressions which can be used for further research or experiments. Applying the FACS to animation is a little trickier than real life. It can be impossible to distinguish an action unit at its most intense, due to animation having limitless possibilities for exaggeration.
One thing to be said for the FACS though, it's being acknowledged more in animation recently, and the effects are noticeable. Every form of animated character features a good percentage of the action units a human has, the major difference being that often these are implicit. Take Mikey from Monsters Inc. He has all the movements on his eyelid and eyebrow that we would, though there isn't much wrinkling of the skin to show the muscles contracting, a common trait.
You may have noticed that we, as humans, tend to feel more empathy towards things that look and move more like us. For example, people would rather hug a teddy bear than a plain cushion. However, when things get a little too real, we feel the opposite.
How about zombies or humanoid robots?
Sure, they may look almost identical to us and move in similar ways, but when something is too realistic, it's a little disturbing, perhaps, and we become a lot more fussy about deviations from the human form.
Masahiro Mori noted this phenomenon and plotted out a graph displaying familiarity in relation to human likeness. Thus we come across what is known as the uncanny valley. So we have some contradictory techniques in the portrayal of emotion. One being to focus intensely on the facial expressions of a character, mimicking those of humans, along with more general mimicry such as human posture and body language, albeit the uncanny valley warns us of certain levels of mimicry having adverse effects.
The other being to dismiss facial expressions almost entirely, and focus on the surroundings of a character using symbolism and interpretation.
And lastly, we can see that all these theories of emotion on a psychological level are, well, just that. Theories with no conclusive evidence to state their validity, though well founded in research and worth understanding.
Ta-da!
This has been a G-Bread production.
Because everything's better with G-Bread.